Let us go talk to Sakurai. Or check out his bedroom at least. Oh, he's here too. I wonder if Monsieur Sakurai is as seemingly innocent as his brother. I should speak with him before searching his room.
Monsieur Demir, I hope you are feeling better today.
Nothing a good night's sleep couldn't fix.
Très bien. I wonder if you would be up to discussing certain matters with me.
Whatever you need.
I'm sorry if dealing with the Major's body brought up any familiar emotions.
I lost my taste for death a long time ago, but it had to be done. I'm certainly in no rush to be carrying a dead body again, though.
No, of course not.
Most understandable. I shall extend the same gratitude to you as I did to your brother.
You've spoken to him already. How is he?
Perhaps that should be a question you ask him yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
I spoke with your brother about your past.
I bet he had a lot to say. He always did have an opinion on the war.
When I say your past, I refer to your past as brothers.
Okay, well, what did he say?
It seems you both had the same sentiment for this party. Perhaps the bridges that you thought were once burnt are in fact primed to be reconstructed.
We'll see how probable that reconstruction is going to be. Until he sees my point of view, I don't know how we can move forward.
What is there for him to understand before the bond can be repaired?
He lost his friends in the war, the same as everyone. But somehow he has forgiven. I'm sorry, Detective, I can't. And Gideon just doesn't understand that.
After speaking with Monsieur Gideon about his brother's state of mind, I think the best thing for them both would be a reconciliation. There's something about Monsieur Sakurai's story that he's leaving out, though. The death of his friends and comrades weighs heavy on him. Your brother was talking with the Comtesse while in the salon. I was not aware they were so close.
Those two, close.
They must share something in common to be able to hold a conversation for the time they did.
If there is one thing I know about my brother, it's that he will not. No. He cannot be rude. He just doesn't have it in him.
Yeah, people can carry on conversations with people they're not close to for a long time. Like, in a way, especially if it's a stranger and you're like, you know how to, small talk and converse. I mean, you have an infinite amount of things to ask about because it's a new person. You don't know anything about them. Like, I get Poirot's point of view, but like, length of conversation means shit all for how close you are to someone.
Was it not your brother that punched Monsieur Hagen?
Ah, that's different. He was asking for it. If you put my brother in a room with 5 socialites like her, he would work his way around every single one of them, offering his full attention and finest manners.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
Okay. Cigarette butts.
Oh.
The room is littered with mess. Cigarette butts discarded right next to the ashtray. Wow, he couldn't even put them in the ashtray? Nice. Everyone's a vampire. Like, nobody has a reflection. Ceremonial dagger. An ornamental dagger from Sakurai's time in the war. Window!
Aha.
And a plant.
Ah.
Always got time for my favorite detective.
There's a particular item I found while conducting my search.
The dagger. I wondered how long it would take for that to become an issue.
I shall give you the opportunity to explain the reason for it being here before I jump to any conclusions.
It was going to be a wedding gift for Gideon. I've maybe not been the best brother in recent years. I thought this could make up for some of it. After what happened to the Major, I thought it was a bit tasteless.
Yeah.
You did not see it fitting to tell me you were harboring a rather sizable knife in your room?
I wouldn't say harboring. And I wasn't expecting to be a suspect in a murder.
No, like, I understand that not everyone's gonna tell you about, like, all the, you know, personal effects they are bringing with them or whatever.
Merci for your assist.
I get Poirot's point, but, like, also... Yeah. Okay, so we have the ceremonial dagger. Investigate the blackmail. Oh, here. Inge got the job from Margot. Inge came from the women's shelter. Yeah. Search the guest rooms for evidence of possible collusion. Okay, we have Zachariah. Zachariah says Gideon was polite to Margot. It does not surprise me to hear that Gideon would mind his manners when speaking with anyone. Cigarette butts. The room is littered with mess. Cigarette butts discarded right next to the ashtray. Zachariah is hesitant to talk to Gideon. Zachariah doesn't seem keen to speak with his brother. There must be something holding him back.
Is there something I...
No. Zachariah is hesitant to reconcile with Gideon. Despite my best efforts to push Zachariah, he seems hesitant to reconcile with his brother.
Another success.
The Demir brothers' estranged relationship is enough to suggest they would not have worked together. Unlikely to collaborate. Ceremonial dagger, an unornamental dagger from Zachariah's time in the war. Zachariah's dagger was a gift for Gideon. It would have made for a meaningful gift for his brother had the circumstances been different. To next guest room. Monsieur Becker's room. Without him here, I am free to search it. Book. Inside Hugo's notebook, a hasty scribble regarding a meeting with, who I assume, Ernesto. Curious. Note by the fire. Seems he has been attempting to write a speech of some kind, unsuccessfully though. I wonder, does this fit a pattern of behavior with Hugo? You underestimate the power of man's defiance. Your men, you are in a position to bring all of this to an end. All we ask is what we deserve. If you do not retract your men, they will be met with equal force, too forceful. Your weapons may beat our bodies, but they will not beat our hearts' spirits. These are the men that have built our great nation, country, and will continue to. Money will not save your soul. I mean, that's fine. Plants. Window. Photograph. With so many siblings, it must have been difficult for Hugo to get attention. Sure. Hugo's room. Hugo's notebook. Inside Hugo's notebook, yeah. Hugo's family photo and scrapped paper. Okay, but oh, there's a thing we can do.
I should not be surprised by...
In Jackie's opinion, she doesn't value Hugo particularly highly. Would he collaborate with anyone else, I wonder? Jackie unlikely to collaborate with Hugo. Okay, oh. Okay. Not sure what else I'm supposed to put together.
Order and method.
No.
I must take a different...
No.
I cannot see the
No?
logic in it.
It's that one and Hugo's notebook. Oh, okay.
Magnifique.
I would not have gotten that. Hugo and Ernesto confirmed each other's alibis. It's possible that they may have colluded to murder the Major. Can I find anything to support this? Alright. I think we're done in here. The business-minded Monsieur da Silva's room. I guess we should speak to the human first.
Monsieur da Silva, I am sure you understand the necessity for this type of search.
Not really, Detective. Your speech was rather spirited. But it did not give me much faith in your investigation.
Cool.
I have not had my abilities questioned to my face by one of those I suspect of a crime before.
Well, if you wish to prove me wrong, you should hurry up and find Felix's killer.
And I hope, with your help, monsieur, I shall.
Madame Van den Bosch spoke of your work with her late husband.
Yes, I helped him invest some money. Unfortunately, he was not the businessman he thought he was.
Madame Van den Bosch had a very similar view. At least he could have taken solace that you are both in the same position.
I think you're confused, Detective. It was Edwin that lost his fortune, not I.
Forgive my naivete. If you were helping him make viable investments, would you not have seen the same opportunity for yourself?
I told him about the opportunities. I did not tell him to put his whole family's wealth into it. The prospect of doing good meant more to him than his profit margins. He was bound to fail.
The business declared bankruptcy.
It did, until it was purchased for a fraction of its worth and made the new owner a small fortune.
I'm beginning to see Monsieur da Silva's more ruthless side. It sounds as though the Viscount was trying to at least make a positive change, but perhaps he was missing Monsieur da Silva's cutthroat edge. What we spoke of last night regarding Madame Van den Bosch.
Everything that I want to say on that matter has already been said.
I understand, monsieur. But what I would like to know is, was the late Viscount aware of your feelings towards his wife?
Excuse me, Detective, but you have crossed the line.
Crossed the line like an attempt to bankrupt a business partner and friend so that you be able to swoop in and impress a certain target of your affections.
You make such ridiculous accusations without a shred of proof.
Your reaction at the mere suggestion is proof enough, monsieur. While I cannot arrest you for betrayal of a friend, I can hope your conscience does not forget, and that will be punishment enough.
Monsieur da Silva's actions are not a criminal offense, but if there was a penalty for deception and deceit, he would surely receive a life sentence. If he has gone to such lengths before, what would stop him from committing a similar act again, this time to the Major? I know you've worked with the Major, but what do you know of his finances?
He didn't have much to speak of. I was always surprised at the life he lived.
Surprised in what way?
Well, considering it wasn't that long ago he came to me asking about work, I didn't think he was in such good financial shape.
You offered him a position.
Nothing that he was willing to lower himself to. That's when he began talking about what else he could do for me.
The Major worked security for your factories?
If you can call what him and his team did security. For the money I paid, I did not expect them to be so reckless.
It was a considerable amount you paid him?
There's no need to divulge amounts, but it was certainly more than was expected.
One would expect a business of Monsieur da Silva's caliber to have agreed a price for the Major's services. Why would he allow the Major to barter more? Tell me about the Major's security team.
He said they were all professionals, but I saw nothing of the sort. He said he had worked with them all in the army as their superior officer. They were men that could be trusted.
Ooh, that doesn't sound too great, though.
But that was not the case?
I had not even met them before they arrived on site. They brought their own equipment. It looked like they knew what they were doing.
And this equipment. It included the weapons that injured and killed the workers?
It was not much of a choice, Detective. I said they didn't need them, but Felix said it was essential. He said he knew better.
Why is Felix going into this like they're going to war? Like, that's... Oh my god. The more Monsieur talks, the shadier his dealings with the Major become. It's beginning to sound as though the riots were no accident.
That is all for now.
Letter. A letter stating the blackmailer would reveal information of his questionable business dealings. Monsieur da Silva, at first you may question the nature of this letter, but by its conclusion you will know that what you have fought so hard to keep hidden could be far from it. You have spent years feeding off of the hard-working backs of others and offering nothing in return. Your workers continue to take their lives into their own hands day after day with your shoddy, damaged, and dangerous machines for a fraction of what they deserve. Oh, absolutely. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money, it is your workers that must pay the price. The mistreatment and pain you have caused does not only reside in the factories that you own, but the house that you live in. You do not value the lives of those that allow you to live the opulent life that you do, and I will not allow that to continue. I can no longer sit back and watch as you disregard any sense of integrity or morality and continue to remain on your self-made pedestal, lording over those that deserve so much more. It is time you paid the price for your crimes, and the cost is 5,000 francs. It is a small price to pay for my silence, for if I do not receive it before Friday, it will not be cash you are paying, but rather years behind bars. Bring the money in a small brown paper parcel addressed to Monsieur Cordier, to the post office on Rue des Entrepôts. Give it to the cashier and leave. If you do as requested, you will not hear from me again, and you may continue your life of luxury. Okay, yeah, this is clearly not someone who actually cares about the moralities of everything, because they would have just, like, sent all the info to the police and got him arrested if they actually cared about all these workers. Like, this is just, I mean, this blackmail letter is just as selfish. It is obvious you do not value others' lives, but I urge you to consider what yours is worth. A roaring fire. Yeah, because if they're like, oh, you have to pay the price for your crimes now. Well, in that case, you would make him pay all the workers that he has underpaid for all this time and have him go to jail. This is just, like, shut up. A contract for a partnership between Ernesto and Hugo. It's missing Hugo's signature. 12.1. This agreement is governed by the laws of the Kingdom of Belgium. Both parties agree to the following. 1. Current workers' strike shall cease in all manners and forms. 2. Factory floor, machine operators, and supervisors shall return to their positions immediately. 3. Terms of the above contract shall be implemented and relevant action taken directly. Oh, and no increased pay, no safety, no nothing, because, like, those places were dangerous. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, they were paid shit, which they were, but, like, in factories, like, people just lost, like, whole limbs and stuff. There was no safety or security at all. Like, no safety, I should say. Signed, Mr. Ernesto da Silva, factory owner and employer, and then Hugo Becker's union leader. Ew, no. Letter opener. A razor-sharp letter opener, almost brand new, lies discarded on the floor. Gramophone player! Okay, we need to talk to Ernesto again.
What is it now, Detective?
Push on why Ernesto hid the letter.
I have spoken of a potential blackmail ring, and yet you still kept your letter to yourself.
It is none of your business. And it is nothing more than a cheap trick to have me admit something that is not true.
I mean, it's clearly true, bro.
If that were the case, it would be strange for you to have kept the letter and brought it with you, would it not?
Your persistence is a trait I do not enjoy.
Monsieur da Silva has remained blunt, if not curt, with his responses to my questions. Perhaps it would be best to act in a courteous and empathetic manner, so that he may be more forthcoming with the truth of his blackmail letter and its contents. Straightforward, there must be a reason you thought justified hiding it, or authoritative. You do not have to answer it, monsieur, but you must answer to it. Now, in that case here.
No reason, Detective. Merely saving you from wasting your time.
I will be the judge of that. I would like to know about any and all evidence that may help my investigation. I trust there is nothing else you deem a waste of my time.
Of course not, officer. It's not as though you think I'm harboring some illicit secret. The letter was a pathetic attempt to intimidate me. Nothing more.
Condemning. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lining them with more of your blood money. Concerned. You don't value the lives of others that allow you to live the opulent life that you do. Concerned?
I have never heard so much rubbish in all my life. I value those that work hard and deserve it.
That suggests there are some that you do not respect.
Yes, well, why should I praise someone for doing a poor job? You make me sound like some monster.
Monsieur, the letter does not only discuss your questionable business dealings, but also cases of abuse against your staff. Both accusations that must be taken very seriously.
Detective, there is a difference between telling a member of my staff what to do and abuse.
Absolutely. But some people walk a fine line. But yes.
And it is you that decides where that line is drawn?
In my house? Yes, it is.
Monsieur does not like being pressed on the subject of how he treats his staff. If he had nothing to hide, there should be no need for such a reaction. I mean, some people just don't like being pried into regardless, but sure. Were you expecting some correspondence this weekend?
Excuse me? Detective, I think you are beginning to lose your mind.
I do not think it is unreasonable to question why you would feel the need to bring a letter opener with you.
Really, Detective? If I had stabbed a man with it, do you really think I would have left it lying out in my room?
Monsieur da Silva is correct. Oh my god, hold up. Alright. Monsieur da Silva is correct. It was a stretch to believe someone would be so careless. The murder weapon remains somewhere in the house, though. Monsieur de Beer invited Monsieur Beckers so that you two might sit down and find some common ground.
Yes, and no one asked him to.
But surely it is beneficial to both parties. Your profits must have been affected.
There are barely any profits to speak of.
Why have those talks not taken place and a deal arranged?
Monsieur Beckers has made no attempt to speak with me and offered no counter-offer. The ball is in his court, Detective.
Although it is Monsieur da Silva's wages and treatment of his staff that is in question, it sounds as though he is at least trying to resolve the issue, surprising unlike Monsieur Beckers. Do you have any ideas as to which staff member may have expressed their abuse?
Please stop calling it that. I treat all my servants exactly how I always have, and no one has complained before.
That does not tell me anything, bro. You could have abused them for like the last 30 years, and up until now, no one had like they were just trying to survive.
That does not mean your behavior is appropriate.
Exactly.
They have one chance. If they are not doing the job they are hired to do, they are gone. You would be surprised how many staff expect an easy ride.
Okay, the way he's talking, there's a difference between an easy ride and being treated fairly as a fellow human. It sounds like he expects his staff potentially to all be like God and not make any mistakes. I did not expect Monsieur to treat his staff the same as his friends, but I also did not expect him to treat them like stray dogs.
Is there a specific member of staff that may have expected such a ride?
There is one girl, a new maid. I didn't expect great things from her, but Comtesse de Vos promised me she could do what was required.
This must be the young girl that the Comtesse spoke of. Perhaps the positions she's finding for these girls are not the best fit.
That is all for now.
I'm sure they are not. So we have the letter opener. And we have investigate the blackmail. Ernesto employed a servant from the women's shelter. Ernesto's newest maid is from Margot's shelter, another young woman given a deserved second chance. Blackmail letter. Ernesto mistreated his employees. Okay,
This will not get me.
I really don't know what they want me to like put together here, so
Things
Oh,
are
okay.
beginning to become.
Margot is making her shelter girls do her dirty work, finding dirt on members of the social elite. Oh yeah. Margot has a network of helpers. Oh yeah, I think she is helping them, but she's also like using them at the same time, because it's a little like, I mean, I hope she's helping them at the end of the day, but like it's also a little like, okay. How did this crime occur? Ernesto's room. Ernesto employed a servant from the women's shelter. Partially signed contract. A contract for a partnership between Ernesto and Hugo. It's missing Hugo's signature. Oh yeah, we've read that. Letter opener. A razor sharp letter opener, almost brand new, lies discarded on the floor. Ernesto unwilling to pay blackmail. Ernesto's refusing to acknowledge what is in the letter, let alone pay it. Blackmail letter. A letter starts stating the blackmailer would reveal information of his questionable business dealings. Margot works at the women's shelter.
I must act on.
Allowed Margot to check the body. Partially signed contract.
Come, my little great.
I don't know what you want me to put together.
Come, my
I don't
little
know.
great.
Let's see what they want us to put together here. Partially. Oh, okay. I didn't realize I could draw over other. I thought that these would block. Okay, that
What
that
a
makes
revelation.
huge difference. I'm doubtful this duo would collaborate. Would Ernesto deal with another member of the house? Perhaps someone who never confirmed his alibi. Hugo and Ernesto seem unlikely to collude. Someone who did not corroborate his alibi. My god, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do.
I must take a different Some would say a lucky
okay.
guess. I would.
Ernesto doesn't strike me as the sort of man that would ask for help, no matter how important. Ernesto may have asked Margot for help. Ernesto doesn't strike me as a man to ask for help. Talk to Ernesto. Are we still in Ernesto's room? Yes.
What is it now, detective?
I'm here to make you happy, bro. Did you speak with the Comtesse directly about hiring a servant from the shelter?
She approached me. I thought it was rather brash.
In what way?
Assuming that I would want to take on another servant, and one from such a troubled background. She is running the charity, not I.
Monsieur, there is something you are keeping from me. Your business relationship with the Major was obviously towing the line of legality.
When he came to me, I told him that with the factories on strike and my profits pouring down the drain, I had nothing for him. But he said he could help me get them all back to work and the factories earning. His rates were steep, but he said he knew what needed to be done, and he was prepared to do it. A week passed and they were all still on strike. In fact, even more had joined them. He made excuse after excuse, demanding more and more money for the job to be done. But he never actually told me what he was going to do.
Apparently he was gonna wage physical war.
The riots.
I had no idea they were going to charge them like that. How was I meant to know?
And even following such a tragedy, he continued to demand money from you.
He said if he wanted my silence, it would cost. Do you have any idea what it could do to my livelihood, my name? If it got out that I had paid the so-called security that did that.
I have every idea, monsieur. You hired a militia to take action against your own workers. You deserve whatever name is chosen for being so morally bereft in your decision-making.
I didn't know that was what he was going to do. You must believe me.
I know he's like really shady and stuff, but I don't think he like on purpose hired like militia, right, to do physical warfare. I don't think he like actually wanted to physically hurt his workers. I mean, he should still pay them.
I have to believe nothing but the truth. And the truth, monsieur, is that it is not only the major that has the blood of those men on his hands.
He's definitely part of it, for sure. He should have like, you know, not just like...
That is all for now.
Alright. Margot approached Ernesto to offer help. Something perturbs me about Margot's forceful nature. This reminds me of another incident. What could it be?
The pieces of the puzzle of...
Margot may know more than she's letting on if she has an inside link with the staff of the house. I found no clear evidence of the guests working together in any capacity. What has become clear is the Comtesse's connection to the staff. Could there be something more to their relationship? Margot has links to several staff members. Talk to Inge. Inge does seem like she likes volunteering info. She's over here, right? Yeah. We will talk to her in the next episode though, because time is up. So, I'm sure it's just 10 minutes left of the chapter or something. But anyways, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see ya.